So in the last video, we added capsa into shipping builds, enabled logging in there. So now we can actually add some other stuff into the game. In the game mode, I added on pre-login some metadata registration. This is subject to change. So if we look at the definition for this function, it actually is marked as deprecated, so I would not recommend you use it. But later on, there will be other ways to add metadata. This is just for demo how metadata works, and will work in the future in similar way. Then I added a trigger box logger, which is just a very simple trigger box, which then, well, whenever there's an overlap event, it'll just log as an error, which is like, and this is not a project to show proper Unreal practices or how to do stuff. This is just like the easiest way to have something to show. To do this, obviously, we need to add capsa core as a public dependency module. So if we now open the editor, we can see that in the editor, everything looks very similar. There's just this one added actor, which is the trigger box logger, which is just extending from the C++ class and adding a text renderer and a plane just to show that it is there. I also added the capsa overlay, which is a UI widget, which listens to some changes in the subsystem. So whenever so we set the initial values, and then whenever the authentication changes or when we receive the server data, we change the values in the UI. We can see that if we play, and I hope my mic doesn't get too crackly when I do this. So let's build the project. So the build was successful. And before we run it, I also want to mention that there are more methods in the capsa core subsystem, like the open client login browser, open server login browser. You can add key bindings for that, for example. So if you press whatever key or key combination, it actually opens the URL directly in the browser. For now, we won't add this, but it should be pretty trivial to add. So yeah, let's open the game. And then my microphone will be very crackly again, which I hope won't be too bad. We can see that the UUIDs for the clients are there, and the UUID for the server is also there, but they are not replicated yet because we are not connected to the server. So if we actually do connect by pressing C, we can see in the logs that the client UUIDs get replicated to the server and the server UUID gets replicated to the clients, which is nice. And let's just go into the bounding box on each client. Trigger box, apologies. So now we should have errors in the server and the two clients. So if we go back to the available logs here, we can let's open up the server log. We can see there's a bunch of stuff in here. We see errors and we see a bunch of other stuff. So this line of adding the metadata as a string, that can be found here as well, when it was added, what the description is and the key. We can see the link logs, we can see the amount of categories. So yeah, that is kind of it. We added some UI elements, some custom logging, and that right away works without needing a whole lot of changes in the game, because all of the stuff that we just saw, like the UI elements, that's optional. You don't need to add it. It should work out of the box. You should just be able to find your session in here and debug it, and the linking should work automatically as well. But if you do want to show the UUID, it is a very minimal change to show stuff like this. So in the next video, we will look a bit into some overrides for other builds, see how we can make that work. So see you then.